Can you explain Wisconsin?
Sure.
Would you explain the real deal on Wisconsin? Not the it's all political, isn't it? Isn't this
Heavily.
just 100% politics?
No doubt about it, because the whole business about the budget crisis is off the table because the unions have said
There is no budget crisis in Wisconsin.
Well, they say they have.
They've given concessions.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, I thought you were saying no. There was a budget crisis before.
Yeah,
no, that's
one
real.
of their own making.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But the unions have given the concessions necessary to take that off the table. So what you're left now with is the whole notion of bargaining power. And the governor says, you know what, I don't want unions to be able to take dollars out of union members' pockets and contribute it to the Democrats. And the Democrats are saying we insist on having this right if that's what we want to do for our unions because they're essential in order to support Democrats' campaigns.
Have you looked at the list of the top 10 donors to political campaigns in America, the top 10 highest?
Yes.
Seven of those 10 donate to Republicans.
Correct.
The other 3 that remain of those top 10,
unions.
They all donate to Democrats, and they're all unions.
Right.
Bust the unions, it's over.
Yeah, so you just told me the whole deal, buddy.
That's the whole thing.
That's the whole deal.
This started when? It started with the Koch brothers, right?
Yep.
Koch brothers were organizing in the state. I'm not taking a side on this. I'm telling you what's going on.
I'm glad you said, because that's exactly the story.
I'm not taking a side. This is the facts,
let me tell
but people don't want to hear the facts.
No, exactly. And so just by telling them the facts, you're angering a lot of people.
Okay, let them get angry. Facts are troublesome creatures from time to time. The Koch brothers, among others, were organizing to try to bust labor. It's what big business wants to do, bust labor. This isn't a new concept. So they started getting organized. They gave a bunch of money to the governor's campaign. The governor's campaign is over. Now, away we go. We're going to try to bust this union up, and that's what they're doing. If you're against the unions, you're all for the governor. If you're for the union, this is political.
Well, it's political.
In the middle,
but let me argue with you just a second and say there is a real issue about the idea that you have public sector employees, and that's the largest sector
oh, you're
of
right.
unions
That's
in the country.
It's an issue.
Because private sector unionization now is down about 7%.
That's right.
So if you're looking at where the big union dollars and unionization forces in American life right now, it's in the public sector and largely in government employees.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
It certainly is.
So that is why right now, when you're talking about busting unions, you're talking about the governor saying no negotiating rights for you as a union. And that's you know, a lot of people are angry at teachers, given what's going on with schools in this country. A lot of people think that the idea of these lavish benefits that the Democratic politicians have been rewarding union members with is out of bounds given the recession. So that's an issue behind the scenes.
That's another thing.
Okay, so but your point is well taken, but I just want to say those are real issues in addition to the political issues and the campaign funding issues you described.
And those are discussions that Americans should be having.
Absolutely.
And those should play themselves out. But to pretend that this is about a fiscal crisis in the state of Wisconsin is malarkey.
Oh, yeah. That's
not what this is.
Duck feathers.
Duck feathers,
Duck feathers.
You would like to
there
say.
we go.
All right, but have your argument. It's one worth having. I mean, you can make a constitutional argument. You can go back to some presidents from a long time ago when this place was being founded who said, you know, we really shouldn't be organizing government workers. That's not how this works. So you can make that argument all day long, but that's not what Wisconsin is.
No, but it's an important argument to be had given some of the benefits, these extraordinary benefits. I mean, you know, a policeman retires, he's still in his 40s or 50s, and he's getting half pension, then he's doing double time. People are saying, wait a minute, I'm up against a difficult recession. Why is that not the case in the private sector?
The really problematic thing is they were promised this. They worked all their lives for this.
On a contract they signed.
On a contract that both sides signed.
Right.
We have a contract law in this country, too.
But you know what? In the USA Today, it said 60% of Americans say these unions should have bargaining rights. So if the governor is willing to sit down and talk to the people, he can win. But public opinion at the moment is not with the governor of Wisconsin.
The timing is very good.
Right.
Sir, it's great to see you.
Always, Shep. Nice to be in studio with you.
Guess who's coming up next?
You know,